from then on, we used to go to the Church of England quite a lot. Well then, when I married Uncle Percy, and I said to Mother, what do you think I had better do? I was going to continue on with the Church of England. And Mother said, you'll go to your husband's church. Be thankful that you're marrying a man who's fond of his church. That was always Mother's view.
What church was Uncle Percy?
Presbyterian. Although he also was christened a Methodist. But that goes back into his history, which wouldn't interest you just now. But there was a little bit of trouble, and they went over to the Presbyterian church. And anyway, I was married then in the Presbyterian church because he knew the minister and he loved the church so much. So I was married in the old St. Stephen's Church in Phillip Street, because it's now in Macquarie Street.
Yes, I know.
And then I attended and considered myself a Presbyterian with him till I came up here. And of course now I attend the Church of England service all the time. I can't get to the other churches, so I attend the church and sort of. But I always have not minded very much, as long as it was a Protestant church, which church I went to. And when I travelled around with Uncle Percy, if we both felt like going inside a church on the continent where we couldn't find a Protestant church, we went in and quietly knelt and prayed in the little chapels.
Terrific.
Which of course were mostly Roman Catholic, but we didn't go to confession or anything. But we'd find seats and quietly go in there. Because on the continent it isn't so easy to find a Protestant church. They're there, but it isn't easy to find them. So many a one we went into and had our little quiet time.
Terrific.
But there was something else I was going to tell you. Dear, there's so much crops up, isn't there?
Well, just on that strain again, George, that's my father's father. He was Church of England. Was it you?
No, your father's father.
Yeah.
He, I think he was married in the Methodist church.
Methodist.
Because your grandmother was a Methodist.
Well, she goes to Presbyterian church now.
Yes, she does.
But she was a
That's right.
Methodist at first.
What's and then my dad isn't a churchgoer at all, but I suppose he was Presbyterian.
He went to Sunday school, I know, but I can't remember.
I don't know whether he was Methodist.
Well,
I don't know what church.
Well, he sent all his kids, me, to Church of England.
They were married in the Methodist Church at Cobra, I think.
Yes, Rockdale.
Yeah, Rockdale, out that way.
And why is my nana, Elizabeth, why does she go to a Presbyterian church now, do you know?
Why she what?
Go to a Presbyterian
I think
church.
it was closest,
Close.
John. I think that's the reason.
And I
Because
think she
Nell-
grew to love the Presbyterian church.
Nell used to go up to Epping to, I think the Methodist church, was it?
Yes, she always went to the
But
Methodist.
you see, the
Nell always.
grandmother, you know, getting up in and out the buses and one thing and another. And, I think it was the closest.
I've always found it fascinating to sort of, for people to change their religion, it's sort of they're changing their family tradition and
We
personality.
changed ours a lot once because we moved around a lot, John. That was the main reason.
But personally, I don't think it matters as
Not
long
me.
as you, although you change, it's not changing your religion, it's only changing the form. And I'll tell you one thing, why probably your mother grew to like it so much.
My grandmother.
Your grandmother. The Presbyterian clergymen, it's a well-known thing, even the Church of England clergymen here have told me this, are the better educated of all the clergymen. And
Yes.
Karen, have you ever met Karen Arrowsmith? He's a very wonderful man. We're very lucky to have him here. He's, by the way, leaving next Saturday, tomorrow he hopes, for a 3-month trip. He and some of the rest of the clergy who were at the Queen's, when she was at church and had so much to do with her, have received an invitation to be at the festival, at her festival, and they'll probably meet her. And Canon Arrowsmith was one who in the picture of that service at the church, he was sitting at one side of the choir. He is, I think, the second canon now in Sydney. I've forgotten the name of the
Presbyterian.
No, Church of England. Presbyterians
They
don't
have canons. Right. Good point.
No, Church of England.
Yeah.
Now, Canon Arrowsmith was for years the head of the Bible Society. He's travelled all over the world for the Bible Society. Well, of course, he's getting older now. And here's the canon to the Bishop of Parramatta, Bishop Robinson. And is it Robinson or Robertson? Robinson, I think. And he has a very busy time. But he's been wonderful here because his Bible study class was the most interesting Bible study class I've ever been to. He knows his Bible all right, because he would, being the head of the Bible Society. But yes, well, they're going home, and so is our chaplain. He has been asked as chaplain, I suppose, because she had such a lot to do with these homes. And they're both leaving, and both will be away quite. I didn't know about Mr. Walters till Miss Condon's told
didn't
me.
know his name.
Yes, he and his wife.
Well, would it be alright if we trace the moons back? Yeah.
The Moons, now,
Unless you've got something else you'd like to say.
Mother was a moon.
That's Amelia Moon, right?
Mm?
Amelia?
Amelia.
Yeah. Okay, we'll start there and go back if you like.
Well, Amelia Moon was the daughter of the two I showed you in those big pictures of Julia Ann and Thomas Moon.
I
Now,
think he only had the one name, Grandpa Moon.
Yes, I never heard of any. I think he only had the one.
that's Thomas. And what?
Thomas.
He married a.
He married Julia Ann Moon. No,
No.
Julia Ann Milgate.
Milgate.
Mm,
Poor John.
No.
that's right.
Okay, and then his father.
His father, I can't remember his father's name, but I know his one brother was William Moon,
There was an Alfred
and there was Alfred Moon
and Henry.
and Henry Moon. They were all his brothers. Now,
I think there was more, but I can't remember their names.
and then there was now Thomas Baker, who was the missionary, married Grandfather Moon's sister.
Whoa.
Well, now Thomas Baker and Grandma's sister married Thomas Baker's brother. So
Yes.
that we're related to that missionary.
Yeah. Can I get that on paper?
Two
I
ways.
understand. We've got Amelia Moon. Her father was Thomas Moon.
Yes.
His father, we don't know.
I don't remember what his name
Do
was.
you know what he married? What his wife's family was?
No, I don't know his wife's name, but I could find it out for you, but I don't know
Is that as
because
far back as we know with the Moons? Do you know his father?
we should go back further, but you see, we didn't have much to do with them because Grandfather died so very young and Grandmother was so busy bringing up the family that she didn't
And
keep in.
I think, John, he was one of 14.
Yes.
How many sisters he has, I'm not sure. But that's what I say, if only we could get to Ruby, she'd be able to
tell us. She was a baker, our cousin
Oh, no.
Ruby.
Do you want to tell me how the Bakers fit in there? Oh,
Well, now,
please.
Thomas Baker married...
Thomas Baker, hang on.
He was the missionary.
We've got a Thomas Moon here who married Julia Milgate.
That's right.
That's right.
And
That-
we go back another generation.
Go
Is
back-
that where the Bakers fit in?
No.
No, all right.
No.
Thomas Baker
Thomas Baker.
married Thomas Moon's sister.
I see.
She was a Miss Moon.
All right.
That's the missionary, Thomas Baker.
Now, wait a minute.
That's right. His wife was Grandpa Moon's sister. She was a Moon.
Harriet Baker's was.
No, not Harriet. Harriet's mother.
Harriet's mother.
Yes. But,
That's right then. Thomas Baker married Thomas Moon's sister.
yes. And Zebulon Baker, who was Thomas Moon's brother,
Thomas Baker's brother.
Thomas Baker's
Yeah.
brother, married,
Grace Millgate.
married
That's
Millgate.
incredible. Two of them married into the
Yes.
the Millgates.
It's a sister married and brother married sister and brother.
That's right.
So one Baker, Thomas Baker, married into the
Moon
Moons,
family.
and the other one married into the Millgates.
Into the Millgate.
Is that when? Did they know about that, or did it happen at different age times? And
Oh no,
Oh no.
no, but they'd met. You see, they were younger generations,
Yeah.
and they met. And there was another Baker, but I can't think what his name was. But Thomas Baker had two daughters,
Mhm.
and one was Harriet, and the other one, she was Claire, wasn't she?
I can't remember.
She married anyway the other
It might have
one.
been Claire, because that may be whom Ruby named her daughter after.
Yes, it could have been. I think it was Claire, the other one. And but Harriet Baker was the one who she was very well educated herself, and she had a school in Sydney.
Ah.
And it was she, as soon as she had got sufficient money together that she felt she could live on,
Yeah.
sold the school and bought a little cottage at La Perouse and became a missionary to the Aboriginals out there.
And what
Until
denomination
she
was
died.
she?
Hmm?
What denomination? What religion?
Methodist.
Methodist.
Methodist. They were originally Wesleyan, but it was called Methodist.
She never married.
No.
She didn't marry.
She never married.
Because there's still an Aboriginal settlement down at La Perouse. I think,
Yes,
or
there is.
Till recently.
Well, she would be well remembered
Yeah.
because she was there
She
when she
started it.
died, and she was very old
Gosh.
when she died. Where's that book?
Oh, Auntie Bea, I'm sorry, you were dying
All
to show
right.
me something.
Oh, well, no, it didn't matter. You
I
want
want
to
to
hear.
show you Harriet's photograph.
It's further over.
That's Grandma Millgate.
Yes. The, what's the name of that diamond mine?
I can't remember that.
But they didn't have anything to do with the owning of the mine or the
Oh,
running
no.
of it.
No.
That's my probably.
Nothing like that at all, John. But I know Uncle, Auntie Lena's husband, Uncle, wasn't his name now, he took ill and they had to come back. And Auntie Ada and Uncle Thomas stayed on.
Hmm.
But
I don't know why.
I don't know why they
Yeah.
went over. Lillian might
It
know.
was her job. I remember
Oh, it
that.
was to a job.
Was it concerned with the building of the railway at all?
No, I
I
don't
don't
think
know
so.
what it was. But of course he was not the one that was related to us,
Mm-hmm.
but it was something to do with the job, and he took that job.
But see, there were two sisters, Auntie Lena and Auntie Ada were sisters, and their husbands was one's name of Goodser, and the other was Thomas
Good, sir.
Goodser.
That's
Gwdsyr. Goodser.
that sounds German. Or,
Goodser, German.
I don't know, isn't it?
I
No.
don't know. Anyhow.
The Germans were around, you know.
Yes.
That time.
But I know Uncle Thomas, he caught typhoid and died, and Auntie Ada always blamed the hospital. She said it turned very cool and they didn't bring him in soon enough from the veranda, and he caught a chill and he died over there. And then she married Uncle Arthur, who was an Englishman, and he was a big man too, and yet his father was quite short. We met his father and his sister in England. She kept a boys' school there.
In London.
I
We
can't
went
remember
there
her
and had
married
dinner
name,
with her
can
one
you?
night.
I can't remember her married name. Anyhow, that doesn't matter. But,
I'll have it in my diary.
oh, what's the name of that diamond mine? You should have your leg up on the stool.
It's all right.
No.
I'm being very careful.
You want to have a rest? A cup of coffee?
No, I'm all right.
No, but
She was a very, very quiet, ladylike person. And, but we don't know, but, because of course she died when Grandfather was born. And he was brought up by her. So that we don't know much about that part of the family at all.
But you couldn't find anything further about the original George who came out to Australia when you went back to England? You couldn't find anything?
No,
I didn't go
didn't look up.
to that part.
See-
I did go, but we didn't have time to go
Oh, I
looking.
see. Yeah.
But I did find out about the